Good morning, everybody. I am Mahasweta Ghosh. I'm an endurance runner. I like to call myself an athlete, not like Latika, but I'm also an IT marketer. Uh, before I start, sorry. Okay. Before I start, okay. Any guesses on that weight? I was hitting a century, but then I decided that, you know what, let me just stop it at 80. So I was weighing 80 kgs there. This was about 2 decades ago. So let me take you back a little into history, maybe 20 plus years ago. I was born in a small town called Durgapur near Calcutta in West Bengal, hard to find in a map as well, to a very, very middle class family. A very, very traditional, conservative middle class family would be said it rightly. My grandfather was a farmer, my father is a lawyer, and my grandmother thought that when I finished my 10th board exams, I should get married because I've had enough education. Thank God that my parents didn't believe so. They sent me to the best school in Durgapur had at that time. It's a steel township, the convent. And then they also sent me to Bangalore to study engineering and MBA thereafter. Now, in between that, when I was preparing for what's coming up in the head, life had a different plan for me. I had a freak accident and I dislocated my spinal cord and I was bedridden for 6 months, completely immobile. I went through a surgery which was 8 hours long in Apollo, Chennai, and almost a year of recovery process before I get back into my 2 feet. Now, that was a time when my parents were trying very hard to get me back on my foot, but I was losing ground. Because of that weight I put on for a year that I was at that time, I lost all my confidence, all my morale, everything that I had. My friends had moved ahead because I'd lost a year out of my education. And also, that is the dichotomy of life. Then friends and family, the society so-called, said words which were really not very comforting. In those times, the word depression was rare and not heard, but I think I almost hit rock bottom with that word called depression when everything in my life that I had, my body, my mind, and probably my soul was also gone. Pretty much like a spark in a Bollywood movie or a Hollywood movie, a spark happened in my life. And I still remember in Bangalore, I went to a store to buy clothes for myself, and I couldn't fit into anything that store had. I remember that frantic call I made to my father, crying, and I said, I need to do something because I don't have clothes. Because body shaming then and today are seen very differently. Body shaming existed even then in a much, much stronger level. Today we are able to voice out, but then we couldn't, and we didn't know words like that. So that was my first change, as I would like to say, my attitude change, that I need to do something about myself. Nobody can lose my weight, but only myself. And that was the first step I did when I took the first attitudinal shift to say that I need to get out of this. Don't be a victim to my own, whatever you call it, and change and become who I would want to be. Make that intention. Now, in that process, two things came along, or rather two people came along. One was, of course, me, the me who decided to make that change. The other one was also a stronger me, which decided that this is not a project of my life. I am not going to do this to lose weight for like 20 kgs and then, leave it from there. It was a decision to take charge of my own life, to become someone, the opportunity given. My parents sent me out to college to study, to become this person that I really want to be, the ones I would then see in probably newspapers or television, athletes, and so on and so forth. Now, this is something that I call my skill set, which I acquired through my sport. And the first thing I give is the attitude, or you would want to call it intention. If I didn't have that attitude that day to change, I probably would have been the same person. I probably would have been sick like I was at that time. I had many ailments that I don't want to call out now. And be that same person who didn't want to change, who would have probably been a sorrow figure living in an utter state of depression. That was number one. The number two was the goal. Now, when I went to do MDS, the first question, and it's still now a lot of people question saying, why would you run 256 kilometers in the Sahara Desert? Now, it's interesting. I love the terrain as one part, but the other question is that is why I wanted to find out if I could. Like, what does it take to do an MDS? And I want to go back and do it again because I know that my journey is not still complete. 256 kilometers, 7 days, running with your own bag, living out of water in the bag. It takes something. Now, that's what they call going out of your comfort zone and doing it. I mean, there are other races that I do, but that is purely going out of your comfort zone, making a goal that somebody would listen and laugh at, saying, are you really mad? Why would you do anything like that? So making a goal which sets you to that path where you really have to go out of every comfort that you have today, be it mind, be it body. And I think that is where is my second skill set. The third is motivation. Now, when you have a goal like this, it takes immense amount of training. It takes immense amount of grit. It takes immense amount of everything that you have got, to build discipline. I have a full-time job. I need to go and do it day in, day out, because I'm not going to achieve unless I do this every day. Now, the other question that a lot of people will wonder is that how do you stay motivated? My biggest motivation is to be able to do what I'm supposed to do every day. Every day training at 4 o'clock in the morning, to be back home, managing my home, and to be showing up at work 11 a.m. in the morning. I think to me, to be able to achieve this 365 days a year is a motivation in itself. And then the byproduct that comes is the icing on the cake, which keeps you going, setting up to the next year and the next goal, and it's a vicious cycle which you just fall in love with. The third is resilience. When you are setting out in this journey, the one thing that I assure you with 100% confidence is pain. Now, pain is not about the physical pain. The pain is about what you would get from your society, from your mind, from your parents. The biggest critic I had in my life was my father. Well, he set me out to study in Bangalore. He could not relate to this me who wanted to change and become this me. He always did not understand my love for the sport, why I didn't eat the kind of food. We fought, we argued for months. We probably just fought over things. But one thing didn't change in me. I was sad, I was unhappy, I cried, I complained to my mother maybe, she supported, but I never gave up. The biggest challenge we face today is that the moment we hit resistance, we say, okay, maybe we should take a step back. But that is what, if you're able to overcome the resistance, you will come out a stronger you. And that is a journey which will be the first step towards a stronger version of you every single day. When I came back from MDS, when I called my father, the first thing he said is, I'm proud of you and I should have supported you more. Trust you me, as much as that medal meant, that comment from me, my father, means the most, maybe even more than what that medal meant. And that was possible because for all these years, maybe 2 decades, I have been resilient. Come what may, who supported, didn't support, I was undeterred in my mission and I still am. And the last one is prioritize. Now, as a woman especially, and this is a women forum, but I think it applies to all genders, is that we struggle between guilt and gut. We always think that prioritizing myself or doing something for myself, chasing my dream, is going to come at a cost of maybe sacrificing time for my family, for my children, from work, from XYZ. Now, here is something that I want to leave you with, is that if you are focusing on yourself, what do you want to give your family? Your family running you to a doctor every now and then, or you being a strong anchor to the family? Think about it. If you are a stronger version of you, who is healthy, who is well, who is happy, you're able to contribute stronger to your society, to your office, to your community, and most importantly, to your family. You don't want to be giving your children, especially, the biggest excuse we gave, that, they are rushing you to the doctor, you're having osteoporosis, breaking things. That's not what you want to give. So I know it comes at this. Now, that's the battle that you need to win every day. I have the same. I feel guilty too. I feel saying, oh, maybe I could, do this extra work, or maybe I could just spend more time at home or something. But then it's a gut that it takes saying, hey, you know what? If I don't do this, I will not be able to achieve my goal, which will make me miserable, which will be a miserable me at home. So why not just leave the guilt for now and just go ahead and do it? And this is something that I want to leave everybody with. And I think this has been my mantra. This is what I have learned to, it's a summary of how this whole journey of mine has shaped out, is that it always starts with an intention, or I would like to call it an attitude, saying, what is that intention, or rather the purpose? Everybody starts their journey with saying, this is my goal. The goal is a tangible aspect of what you want to really become. I want to become known in the endurance running, sector or community in the world. That is my purpose. To do that, or rather that's my intention. To do that, how do I do it? Then I have the behavior that I have to run. I have to go out of my comfort zone. I have to have a goal which is getting me out of my comfort zone and doing. For example, MDS is my first attempt towards that. The second is then you become an habit. Now, it didn't become naturally to me to go out and do that kind of training, like, early mornings. It has been inculcated in me as a behavior, saying that I need to do this. I need to go. It was hard. I managed it. I worked on ensuring that I show up. Not every day is a Sunday. Not every day do I want to show up, but then I still show up. Now, once you keep doing that, it becomes a second habit. Would you believe that I actually went out and ran even in Pune this morning? So that becomes a habit, because I cannot, it's what I do. It's like getting up and having a cup of tea in the morning. The second is that when it becomes a habit, you become who you are. I am an early morning person. Everybody knows. I wasn't an early morning person 20 years ago. So it has become a nature. And then that's who you become. There's a very common question that's asked to me saying, how do you take this into your professional life? Now, if I have become me, if I have that positive attitude, which I carry with me, if I have that capability to go outside my comfort zone, if I have the ability to set a smart goal to achieve what I want to achieve as a bigger purpose, and if I know how to put all of that into play, isn't that what every corporate is asking for out of all of us here? So how is the two different is my question. And to top of it, I just want to leave with all of you this one last thought. That everybody, look around, look next to you, to your right, to your left, above or beyond, is that everybody is going through a difficult time. Everybody is struggling with something or the other. You don't know doesn't mean the other side is all green. All I would like to say is that if you can change your attitude to see it in the light of positivity, to have that attitude to be happy, is only when you will be able to change. There is only two ways that change can happen. Either you change the situation or you change yourself. I believe in changing myself because a lot of times the situation is out of control. So control what you can, change yourself, top it up with your happiness, and you will have a good version of you. Thank you.